Yo, what's up everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic indie comic interview. It is your host Cody, and we are keeping it geekly with our good friend Matt McGarth of Idiot Error issue number 1 and 2. And speaking of idiot errors, like man oh man, we are 25 minutes late, and that is no thanks to me. Thanks to me, I'm having another error. My microphone didn't want to work, so we spent 30 minutes trying to troubleshoot it, and we are instead using an additional microphone. So 2 microphones, 1 Cody. Welcome.
Spidey-Man on there?
Oh, yes, sir. So we have Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
This was before I used to do comics, so I would actually, this was when I was just a live streamer, so this would be like in the camera, like, it'd be like one of those, like, out of the, But I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too.
Did you get a chance to see No Way Home, I take it?
Yeah, I did.
I loved it.
Not too long ago. I waited till it came out on like streaming or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get to see it in theaters, but yeah, finally got to watch it. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Same with Batman. Just watched it like a couple of days ago because it's finally streaming.
So how'd you feel about his Batman? Did you like his Batman, or did you like? A lot of people liked his Bruce Wayne better than the Batman.
Really? Because Bruce Wayne was barely in it. It was like probably the most Batman we've ever had in a Batman movie.
So I really liked his. I think it was the most detective side we've seen too.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I liked it. He was a very different Batman. He's a very introverted, kind of. I don't know, a little more.
Not the playboy that we're used to.
Not like, he's not the growly kind of. He's still a badass, but like not as like scary, I guess. No Christian Bale or Ben Affleck did it.
Yo, we have a Ness in the chat, 2 mics, 1 Cody, hello, and Blinks Aimbat in the chat as well, saying they don't like Robert Pattinson, but they love the movie. Hey, we appreciate you guys stopping in. I'm so sorry about being late, but before we get off tangent, we're here to break down Matt's newest comic. It looks so beautiful. Idiot Error issues 1 and 2. Man, I've been really excited about this. This is my 50th interview, and it's one of those things like, I love this book so much. When my microphone didn't start working, I was like, there's no way I'm letting this interview slip away. I was like, come hell or high water. Matt, he's like, you care if I do some laundry? I'm like, please do so. And I'm like running upstairs, like hoping my knees don't give out on me, looking for like a PlayStation 3 cable. This is actually, I'm getting ready to ship this microphone off to Blink, so that was funny.
What's Blink? Like you send it off and they'll give you money back for it?
So Blinks is I do a lot of content creation over on Twitch, and he's one of my in real life friends, but he does Twitch streaming as well. So like I said, I just got this microphone. This was my backup one, but it's good. I didn't send it off too early because we would have been SOL here.
Yeah, it saved our butts today.
So Matt, you said you've been creating comics for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
So what type? You said you dove into some anthologies. So what type of anthologies did you start creating before you dove into Idiot Error?
I got them right here, actually. I keep them right by my desk. So I did one called Gothic Tales of Haunted Futures, which was it's like a sci-fi versions of a gothic romance. So did one there. Did this one. It's a Jekyll and Hyde anthology.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's double-sided. So one side is all about Hyde, and then the other side is all about Dr. Jekyll. So, yeah, kind of a neat gimmick.
So what story did you put in there? Like the Jekyll or the Hyde?
I did Hyde.
Okay.
Hyde's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the evil dude. Yeah. I did like an odd couple type thing of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, kind of roommates, and it was kind of dumb and silly, but like Hyde is the kind of very neat and orderly one, and Jekyll is the kind of slob in it, and it's just like
I got you.
Then I did this one called Into Being. It's a zine for the 200th anniversary of Frankenstein from a few years ago. So yeah, and then a couple others here and there, but I don't have copies of those yet.
No, that's cool. So those anthologies were a nice little way for you to break in. Which one was your favorite, would you say?
I don't know. Probably this one. Probably this one. I really like the story in it. I worked with an artist called John Berg. He's also from Toronto, and you can kind of see his style here. Like, it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Very cartoony. Very like clean, crisp lines, and I think it really turned out really well. And again, it's another kind of dumb little gaggy thing where it's told from the perspective of Dr. Frankenstein's downstairs neighbor during the creation of the monster.
So you're probably wondering what's going on half the time.
There's like down from his ceiling. He's like, "What's up?" He's seen like all these bodies being dragged into Frankenstein's house, and he assumes he's like out partying all night and letting his drunk friends stay over or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
So how did that? Oh, go on.
Now that I'm thinking about it, stories from, I can't remember. I think at least this one is going to be in the comics bundle on the ID-10T Error Kickstarter campaign if you pledge above a certain level. So
okay.
You can check that one out if you back one of the higher tiers.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So speaking of that, how did you get into Idiot Error? I love everything about it, the concept of it, the art, the name. The name was really interesting too. I actually thought and I think our good friend Stokes was kind of along the same mindset. Like Idiot Error was like kind of like you being an idiot, like operating it or something along those lines. But you said there's actually like more of like a funnier meaning behind it, right?
Yeah, I think it's like I have such a hard time with titles. It's the last thing I do when I write something. I really hate coming up with titles. So for this one, I was just like browsing online, just trying to get some inspiration, and for whatever reason that came up. And yeah, it's an inside joke with I guess computer programmers or IT people. Mm-hmm. Like maybe they'll get a request from a coworker and they're complaining that their computer won't turn on, and it's because it's not plugged in. So to kind of like mess with the people, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's an ID-10T error. Don't worry, we can fix that." Blah 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 blah. So yeah, just kind of a inside joke with programmers, IT people, just to kind of poke fun at the dummies out there that don't know how to operate their computer.
Oh my God, that was me this morning. So this is about a lonely and disgruntled man who creates the world's most advanced artificially intelligent robot just so he could torture it and kill it. Wow! I mean, what's the premise behind that? What's going on with Bradley? Why is he so keen on torturing and killing this AI?
I don't know. Like, let's take it back 10 minutes ago when you were trying to get your mic. How are you feeling? Were you?
Yes, I was like, if I didn't invest so much money into it, I would have put this thing through the wall.
So that's kind of where Bradley's coming from, but normal people like us will find solutions like we did today. We found another mic and kind of worked through it, or we'll get over those frustrations. But for whatever reason, something happened to Bradley where he could not let go of that anger towards his piece of equipment. So he took it to the most extreme reaction possible, and then from there went even more extreme to having to create something out of, to not to go into any spoilers, but creating something out of a piece of technology just so he can get his revenge against it.
So did you have any sort of like programming or IT like knowledge going into this? Like any sort of like knowledge what it took to create this? So what drove you to write something along this nature? I mean, it seemed like with the anthologies you kind of had like a knack for writing like, like more like horror type, like with maybe not like with the stories, but like the premise, like Frankenstein, Dr. Hyde and Jekyll, like the kind of that theme, and then to go for like a AI, just kind of seems a little bit out of left field.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always really liked sci-fi throughout my whole life. Like I kind of cite The Fly as a little bit of an influence on ID-10T Error or Idiot Error. Yeah, just the idea of it, like getting your frustrations against technology, just kind of lent itself to that AI aspect of it. So, yeah, I can't really remember. I have a really bad memory for these things. I don't know exactly where these ideas come from, but they come from somewhere. We have
a Ness over on YouTube saying the true ID-10T error was the friends we made along the way. This is an enemy right now. Like the fact that I have to hold a whole other mic stand as my arm. Like no, we're over this microphone today.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've posted, I've gotten some bad reactions, to be honest, about the premise. Like, I posted it on, Reddit yesterday, and people are like, ooh, I don't like this concept. It immediately turns me off.
What do you think was causing that? Maybe because the AI is like human-like? Do you think maybe they're...
Yeah. I know, like, I sent out a review copy to one podcaster, and I was just kind of surprised because, like, he came back to me and was like, I really don't like I feel really...
Am I a sick person for liking it or something? Like...
I feel like I'm a sick person for writing it. Like,
stop making Matt feel this way, guys. Like, he's a good person.
I know. Bradley's the bad guy. He's the villain. We're supposed to be rooting for the AI, and yeah.
So Bradley's the antagonist of the story. Like, he's actually like the bad guy. Bad guy.
Yeah, he's not a good person. Yeah, he is a bad person. He creates life just to kill it.
So was it hard, like, writing this concept? This seems like such like an intricate like idea, like to write like someone like Bradley as the antagonist with the AI like as the Bradley the antagonist and the AI as the protagonist. Like, was that like a difficult challenge for you?
No, not really. No. Bradley was always like meant to be my villain of the story, and the AI was the underdog, the very affable AI who is just trying to make sense of its, first being brought into life so suddenly, and to be immediately put in this mortal danger. So, the first issue is all about the AI trying to just survive. That's its only objective. And for issue 2, now that, like, it's not to go into spoilers, but it escapes Bradley's clutches. So now that life is not immediately in danger, now it's starting to think about, like, who am I? What am I? What's my identity? Like, am I really just this creature created by a madman just to be immediately disposed of, or can I be something more than that? So yeah, for issue 2 and then the next issue, we're going to be delving deeper into questions of identity and things like that.
What was what was your purpose for this though? AI like really isn't supposed to have emotion, and I remember in one panel in particular, it was getting stabbed and was saying ouch, and I remember just thinking like, this was really like, it seemed like there was a like, I don't know, is there any sort of like connection between maybe like you and the robot or something, like, some sort of like connection, like where you're trying to like maybe tell a little bit of a story, like, because the robot just seems like really deep to me, you know what I mean? It seems like there's a lot of potential for connection there.
Yeah, maybe it is like a self-insert character a little bit. The AI is very kind of affable and soft-spoken, riddled with anxiety and self-doubt. So that sounds familiar.
Because I mean, like, the consciousness of it, just and the writer, of course, your interpretation of it, that's whatever you write is what you write. But like, just the fact that it had emotion, like a consciousness, like it just really spoke to me. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what other people had a hard time like clinging on to. But like for me, like, it makes it dive even deeper, because robots aren't supposed to have this human aspect to it. But I think the way you created this AI like made it even more. I like it even more because of that, because it has those emotions, because it has that thinking capability when typically robots don't. Yeah. I mean, it depends on your robot, I guess. I guess they're robots in certain media. I'm thinking like Blade Runner, even though they're not really robots, but they're replicants. They're artificially made humans, and they lack empathy, but they still have the ability to like feel and appreciate life, and the will to live, as we see in Roy Batty. So I think there are examples in there of robots with you're right. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't even think of Blade Runner. We have Blink saying the idea behind this reminds him of the robots from Portal, and he loves it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the one on Xbox 360. But he could be talking about something else too. I'm sure there's tons of different Portals out there. But Blade Runner, so that's interesting. The more I think about Blade Runner, this kind of does click in that sense. Yeah. Which one did you like? Did you like the first or the second one better?
Well, I don't know. They're both so different. They're both so good. I can't.
Yeah. Did you know in that scene in the first one, the actress I think actually when she smashes a window with her elbow and she actually like chips her elbow on it. So like when she acts like it's painful, that was actually like her like being in pain. I really like that. Blade Runner, I love the Blade Runner series. So in the first one, we have Bradley creating the AI, and then kind of what set the picture for 2. So what happens in issue 1 that brings us to issue 2?
So without going into a lot of spoilers, our AI comes out on top at the end of issue 1. So Bradley is defeated, the AI escapes, and it's off into the streets of Toronto to kind of, I don't know, find some place where it can belong.
Mm-hmm.
So, immediately after, Bradley wakes up and he realizes his creation has escaped. So, there's the want to go out and finish his vendetta, finish what he started and kill it. But there's also a secret about the AI that if it gets out and into the wrong hands of the wrong people, he could really be screwed over. So there's a self-preservation part to it for Bradley now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all part of his survival. So yeah, that's his mission. He's got to destroy it to just get his revenge, and also to not get into deep trouble.
I'm not trying to venture too deep into spoiler, but I'm wondering would that be something you could get like in current days? Like if you had like an AI that had like a consciousness, like, you know what I mean? Like the gray, because I'm sure like you ever play, well, you said you don't get a chance to play a lot of games, but Detroit Become Human. So Detroit Become Human's basically like this concept, like where the androids like they get freedom, they break away and everything, and then they want they really bleed into like the robots' rights. So like it's like robots want rights, but humans like are enslaving them, and it like follows that like timeline. But kind of gives me this vibe too. I'm digging this, dude. Like it sounds like things are gonna get really crazy. I'm excited to dive into Burpo too. Burpo is so adorable.
Hi, I'm Matt McGarth, writer and co-creator of ID-10T Error, a revenge horror comedy about a man who builds a sentient AI robot in his basement, just so he can torture and kill it. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm tied up here. Well, as a writer, I'm dedicated to researching my stories, and I strive to put myself in my character's shoes. So, that's what I'm doing as I write ID-10T Error Issue 2. That's right, Bradley and his AI are back.
Issue 1 is about Bradley's AI doing everything it can to survive and escape its insane creator, while Bradley tries to carry out his mysterious vendetta and destroy his greatest creation. ID-10T Error Issue 2 picks up moments after the end of the first issue. Bradley has failed, and his creation has outwitted him and escaped into the streets of Toronto. But the AI contains a secret within its coding that, if it gets into the wrong hands, could destroy Bradley's life. Meanwhile, the AI hatches a plan to save themselves and the lives of their friend Burpo by uploading their consciousness into the virtual reality amusement park of Burpo Land, where Bradley won't be able to reach or hurt them. That is, if he doesn't hunt them down first.
We're launching this Kickstarter to fund a print run for Issue 1 and the production and printing of Issue 2. And we have some great rewards too. You'll be able to purchase digital and print copies of Issues 1 and 2, and we're also offering a print by artist Kay Baird. But that's not all. We've also got some...
Rodrigo here. One of the artists and co-creator of ID-10 Error. So unfortunately, Matt wasn't available to finish this video. So I'm here to tell you more about the rewards we have for backers. I will be providing some really cool art tiers for backers. I can draw you into the comics as a minor character. We also have some pages I drew for ID-10 Error issue 1, and we also will have like a limited number of commissions that I will do in pen and ink on A4 paper. So we need to raise 7,800 to finish issue 2, print issue 1 and 2, and also to cover all the shipping costs and Kickstarter fees. So we hope you will back this project and help us to complete our bizarre masterpiece.
Who's there? What are you gonna do to me? No! Where'd the robot go?
Yeah. Well, can you still hear me?
Come on.
I didn't actually create like this part of it. His name is Jordan Kroger, I think. He created like the little animatic trailer.
Ines, you literally are a saving grace. Thank you. I have a brand new screen. Had another idiot error, you could say, and I had to add my audio input. So thank you so much for single-handedly saving the interview, Ines. So let me re-ask that. We were talking about how the project's at 58% of its funding, 3,399 of 5,810, and we were talking about just the amount of backers. But I did ask Matt how he felt about where he was, because he has 4 days to go, and it can be kind of defeating to be on this hump right now. So that's kind of where we were at. So Matt, yeah, sorry about that. How are you feeling? How are you dealing with that? How are you trying to work through it?
I don't know. My emotions are very up and down. Last night I was feeling really down. This morning I'm feeling better. Like, it's totally a roller coaster. Like, it goes really slow, and you're not getting enough backers one day, and you're feeling really bad. But then somebody will tweet out and be like, "Hey, check out this project. It's so good." And being on the podcast today, and you're saying a whole bunch of nice things.
Are you serious, man? Like, I felt like this whole entire time I'm like, dude, like I feel so bad, like, because like if anyone knows me, like I hold this brand to like such a like high pedestal that like I was like thinking of like the apology tweet I was gonna do after this, like where I'm like, I'm so sorry for being such a bad host.
No, I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. Seeing you excited about it.
No, I love this. I love it, man. I love the concept of it. I loved seeing the AI. Do you have a name for the AI?
Not really. I think in issue 2 we'll establish its name, and it'll just be the ID-10T.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Or the ID-10. I think it's the ID-10. We refer to it in issue 2. If people are upping their pledges, which is really nice, like you did. Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with the digital, but I love the physical. I love the physical so much, and then the prints too. You get the prints with the physical too, right?
Yeah, if you get both, get issue 1 and 2, you'll get a free print by K Bear.
And the print looks so good. The print is fire. Yeah. I love the print so much.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So, real quick, I'm on the screen, I think. Do you want me to just take the wheel, or do you want me to give you the wheel back?
Yeah, okay. Give me the wheel back.
All right, yeah.
Just let me know.
Boom.
Okay, there we go. Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Here it is in Canadian dollars, so 4,387.
Man, you better put that back on American.
Yeah, I feel worse just being an American. I'm like, 3,000. Yeah, what do we want to look at? Here's the cover for issue 2.
So the character kind of looks like you with like more of a rugged beard.
Yeah, totally.
I love it.
I can never remember the actor's name. He was originally based off of Fleabag, the jerk brother-in-law. Does anybody know his name? Or he was also in Stranger Things. He plays the conspiracy theorist dude.
Oh, that's like right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I can't think of it.
Oh, me either. People have reminded it several times. Anyways, yeah, he was supposed to be originally that guy, but then once we started drawing the issue, it kind of turned into me, which is fine. I don't take it personally. Here's Burpo. He's kind of our mascot of the campaign. And maybe I'll just scroll down to some preview pages. So yeah, this picks up right after.
Brett Gelman.
Brett Gelman.
Gelman.
Yes.
Pronunciations are not my strong suit.
yeah. So he was totally Brett Gelman, but then turned into me. Here's actually Ottavio. So he's the artist. So he's a little bit of a character in the story.
That's so cool too.
Yeah. And, maybe they'll try and fit me into issue 2 somewhere too, other than just me looking like Bradley. So Ottavio does this cool thing that you don't really see a lot in kind of Western comics, where suddenly people are looking very normal and humanish, but then suddenly, Bradley's emotions, he'll go all bug-eyed, turns into a little cartoon character here. It's just very over the top. And then it takes place in Toronto. So we're going to get a lot of Toronto in issue 2.
Ooh, I love that. Ass kickers. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
So what's that QR code? Does that take you anywhere?
No, it's a plot point.
I got you.
Yeah. So you don't know, but like the AI's kind of like view kind of picks up on the VR code, and then the little billboard up here comes alive. And
that's so cool.
Commercial. So this is kind of this section doesn't have lettering yet, but it's kind of the call to adventure. So the AI gets the idea of, it can upload its consciousness into Burpo Land, which is this kind of amusement park, VR amusement park type of thing.
And that's where they're trying to go to get away from them.
Yeah, so upload their consciousness into this kind of, heaven basically, and they'll be in a spot where Bradley can't ever get to them. So that is their mission, and we'll see if they actually make it, or if Bradley will get them before they get the chance to get there. And
so let me take a stab at Burpo's origin. Was he like a doll from the amusement park that Bradley first started taking his anger out on?
Yeah, you're kind of close. So the idea behind them is he's kind of Bradley's first foray into creating an AI. It's his kind of proof of concept. So he created a very rudimentary AI out of this childhood toy, kind of like a Furby or something like that. So
God, those things are horrifying.
Yeah, so it can't really talk per se. It can just do its pre-recorded whatever things that it came with, but it's kind of aware of its surroundings. It's able to interact with the characters. In the first issue, it kind of helps out the AI escape. So he's kind of like the Igor to Bradley's Dr. Frankenstein.
Okay.
The name Burpo came from, I used to work in a bookstore, and I was, my job was stocking the shelves, and in the religious section, there was a book called Heaven is for Real or something. It was like a heaven tourism book, Christian thing, and the author was Todd Burpo, and I just thought that name was really funny. It just amused me to no end, so I wanted to use it somewhere. So, and
what an awesome tribute to something that you used to do,
Yeah. So here, and then get the scene where he actually finds the AI, spots him, and then runs him over. Boom.
And that's the cover, right?
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love it.
Here's some stuff from issue 1. This is my favorite page of the whole 2 issues. I really love this page. You got that little Dutch angle here. You kind of have that kind of fishbowl perspective.
So is anything else that you love about it? Was it maybe your favorite to write, or just favorite design overall?
Favorite design, yeah. I really like this moment where the AI kind of realizes it's screwed when nobody's going to come in and help it, and it kind of gets the idea of to escape in a kind of very gruesome way of pulling out its hand and getting its hand all messed up, and pulling out the knife, and then it's let's go. Oh no! And then this is our first introduction to Burpo.
I love it. He holds the knife above his head. He's like, Burpo! So, what inspired you for the designs of these two?
Burpo, yeah, I just told Ottavio, like, it's a very old Furby. Sorry, I'm just gonna check my phone. Yeah, it's a very, like, old Furby childhood toy that Bradley kind of modded to make it, turn into an AI. So it's probably looks really messed up. Like he's taken off like its face to kind of like go into its wiring and rewire it, rework it.
It's still cute though.
Still cute, but a little, first time you see it, it's super creepy. So it has the capability of looking adorable, but also very creepy. And then the AI, it was kind of based off a little bit like the Boston Dynamics robot. So that is like its skeleton, and then we figured like Bradley added a bunch of stuff to it, like this kind of mask that it has is like those generic masks you'd see at a Halloween store. That's just like the blank face. It's just like that, plus like some googly eyes inserted.
I really like the teeth. The teeth like really add like a horrifying like nature to it almost.
You can't really see it here, but I think like the lower part of him is kind of like crotch area. His waist is supposed to be like part of a stormtrooper costume. He's wearing sneakers, which you can't really see. He's kind of got gloves on, and yeah, it's just supposed to look like crap you'd find around your house, or maybe in a dumpster, or in like a junk shop or something. Stuff that he could just very cheaply get and use to create his robot. So it's kind of a Frankenstein feel to it. Frankenstein's monster. Here's the printer you're talking about by Kay Baird.
Gorgeous.
She is a colorist, and she's also an amazing illustrator, as we can see.
I love the body parts like hanging in the background too.
Yeah, it's cool. So comic bundle, like I said, you can get print copies of you can't see me right now, but you can get copies of Caged in Flesh that I showed and Gothic Tales of Haunted Future. So I got a bunch of those left over, so you can get that. You'll also get issues 1 and 2 of ID-10T Air, plus a digital pack of other shorts I've done over the years. You can get drawn into the comics. So a person that had pledged at that level actually dropped out yesterday. So they were sold out at one point, but now one slot has opened up. So if you want to be drawn into the comic, and you can actually appear as a character in the comic, so you'll have lines, you'll have a role, you'll have a part of the.
So not just like a background character. You're actually going to be having some lines Yeah,
you'll be in the comic. We got original art too. So we have 10 pages left from issue 1. They're drawn on A4 paper by Ottavio, and they look really super cool. So we have a few of those left. You can also get a commission. So here's an example that Ottavio did, Captain America. You can get a commission by him. I think there are 3 slots of those. Or if you really want to help us out, you can get both. So you can get an original page, and you can get a commission too. So there are 2 of those left.
No, that's really cool. And he's a really good artist too. I really like his attention to detail. His pencils look really good. Yeah, dude, that Captain America looked amazing.
Yeah, and I mean the original page is $120 Canadian, plus you're also getting issues 1 and 2 for that. Shipping's $10 Canadian. You're also getting the 4 digital comics.
So you're really not paying too much extra for the original art. Like, that's outstanding.
It's like $80, I think. Yeah. $80 Canadian for the original art. Yeah. That's it. Like I said, we got this sad little number up here. This 58% funded. Just 4 days to go. So I'm hanging all my hopes and dreams off of that 48-hour bump.
I gotcha.
But if we can get there before that, that would make me so happy.
So what a perfect transition. With that being said, for anyone that's watching that is on the fence about backing, or kind of just just on that teetering side of things, what would you like to say to them directly to kind of help push them over that edge?
I don't know. I gotta preserve my self-respect here, not just
Back this shit.
big.
Like, why should they back it?
Why should he back it? Okay, I think it's a really good story. It's very dark, as we talked about. It's about a guy who creates a life just to kill it, but ultimately, it's a positive story. It's uplifting. It's a story where good triumphs over evil. So Bradley is our villain of the story, and he without spoiling anything, he does not win. He gets his just rewards, and he gets put in his place for
That's good.
his evil ways. I think it looks really cool. It's not your typical comic. It's A4 size, so here you go. Here's your typical size comic, and here's mine. So you put them side by side, you get this big, oversized, kind of cool book.
What drove you to want to make it bigger?
Just poor planning. Originally, this was supposed to be a digital-only book, and Tavio drew it in A4 paper, and we weren't thinking about printing it at the time, so we just.
Was A4 like the better medium for digital?
No, it's just the paper that he drew on.
I got you.
Like I said, poor planning, but excuse me, I think it worked out well because it looks really cool. The oversized format looks.
No, I love it. I think it looks really cool. Guys, for anyone that's watching, right here is the link. How much is just to back it digitally?
You can get it issue 1 or 2, like individually, for $7 Canadian. So that's like $5.
What about for the bundle for both?
Bundle is $14.
So $14. Whoever gets the digital bundle, if you get it and you let me know from this, I will PayPal you the rest to make it physical. Let's make that happen. At least get another $40 back. Yes. And I'll put that on the rest of the day. So we'll throw that out on Twitter. So whoever does the digital backing, I'll throw an extra 14 to make it physical. Because I believe in this. I want to see you fund. I love this, dude. I think this is such an interesting concept. And I need to see issue number 3. I need to see Bradley get his, because you wrote him you wrote him to where you want to see him get got.
Yeah, and issue 3 is probably where the story's going to end. And it ends in a very. I'm really excited about the ending.
Ooh, okay. I think we have some potential to see Bradley kind of get some of his own medicine.
You see Bradley definitely get his own medicine, and you see a very nice ending for the heroes of our story, the Burpo and the AI.
And yeah, that's really what matters. Burpo's so cute, man. Burpo, we stand Burpo. So with that being said, let's begin wrapping things up. Man, first and foremost, my apologies for such a crappy start, but we had such an amazing interview and such an amazing finish. So I appreciate you sticking on with me while I troubleshoot. Now, with that being said, for anyone watching, I do like making these a little bit of like a learning tool. So for anyone out there that's kind of just like struggling to get started with their comic or with their anthology, what would you say to them, to kind of help push them through that barrier? Because sometimes that can be hard just to get started. So like, what I guess worked best for you to like get started on this?
I don't know. I think just being as involved in the indie comics community as possible. Like, it's really big and supportive out there on Twitter. So, get talking to people, push other people's back Kickstarters. If you can, back other people's Kickstarters. If you can't, be cheerleaders for them, especially the projects like you really believe in. And it'll be paid forward back to you. So, you show love to other people, you will get that love in return when you need it. So do a lot of that. That's probably my biggest saving grace in terms of like getting as far as I did, and in terms of not feeling really bad about myself and being all sulky and feeling sorry for myself. Seeing people that I didn't know, a couple of weeks ago, be so passionate about this book that I'm creating is very uplifting. So yeah, get involved in your community. In terms of staying okay in the last stretch, I don't know. I need to.
He's like, I'm still learning that. That's all right. That's all right.
I'm still remaining hopeful. I am an eternal optimist, so it's a long way to go, but I've seen, Kickstarters in that last 48 hours pull off miracles and, get $2,000 in like the last 24 hours. So
the last day's like the biggest, right?
Yeah. So I'm putting all my hopes and dreams on that kind of boost. At the same time, being realistic and grounded. Just because it's happened for other people isn't necessarily going to happen for me. It's so different. You never know.
So what's your plan B? Like, let's say like this doesn't happen. Are people still going to have the option to buy this?
No.
No.
Not right now. Eventually, I'll like try and Kickstarter again, or I'll try to like create some other plan to get it funded. But if it doesn't get funded right now, the issue 1 is completely done. So it won't be printed, but you can buy it off of my Gumroad. If you don't like supporting Gumroad because they're kind of weird. They had that weird thing a couple months ago, if you remember.
No.
Just talk to me. Oh yeah, the founder kind of had this hissy fit.
I got
Remember that? Yeah. And a lot of people are like, no thanks, Gumroad. But I still have mine because it's pretty inactive anyways. But yeah, you can buy it off of there. If you don't want to support Gumroad, you can just talk to me and we can work something out. So issue 1 will be available if this does not get funded, digitally at least. And then we'll see what happens. I'll probably try and figure something out where we can, get issue 2 made. I already invested so much time and energy and money in it, so I'm pretty determined to get it made one way.
Yeah. And I have high hopes for you funding. I ask those questions because, sometimes it's nice to know a plan B. Sometimes there are things that you have lined up that, maybe you want to get a platform to talk about. So I just try to ask that just in case there is something. But I have high hopes. Once again, guys, if you are watching, if you back the digital and you get both at 16, or it was 14, right? I will throw you the extra, I think it's like 26, if my math's right. It's one of those, 16 or 26. I will throw you the extra to make it physical. So do that. That's going to be up for today. So all the way up until midnight, we have Strider Nolan in the chat rerun issue 2 campaign. Yeah, you could do that as well. Like relaunch the Kickstarter for issue 2 if that does flop. But we got high hopes for it, Strider. We got high hopes. We're gonna get this funded.
Come on, man.
Get the digital bottle. I'm gonna up it up to the physical. We're gonna make this happen for Matt. Matt, thank you so much for sticking around. With all the technical issues, I had an idiot error myself.
Fitting. It was fitting for the theme. We had nice segue to jump into.
But guys, it's a beautiful day out, so we are going to be taking it off with our families and enjoying it. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday, but most importantly, keep it geekly.